जीवन में सफलता पाने का एक ही राज है। जो कुछ करना है वक्त उसका आज है। आत्मविश्वास नहीं देखता कितने तूफान है, तेज बारिश है, तूफाने में उड़ने वाला ही तो बाज है। जी हाँ, बिल्कुल सही कहा है आपने। इसी वक्त के साथ, इसी शुरुआत के साथ आप सबों का हार्दिक अभिनंदन। लेट्स सी, आप देखते हैं कि आप आज कितने मज़ेदार तरीके से आनंदपूर्वक इस वीडियो को सुनते हैं। बने रहिए इस चैनल में, देखते रहिए, सीखते रहिए, आगे बढ़ते रहिए। ऑल द बेस्ट। पहला प्रश्न, कंसिडर द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट। द क्राइटेरिया फॉलोड फॉर स्पेसिफिकेशन ऑफ अ कम्युनिटी एज a scheduled tribe are split out in the constitution. Second, the process to include the tribes in ST list begins with the recommendation from the respective state governments. The approval of the National Commission for Scheduled Tribes is required before the list is sent to the Union Cabinet for the final decision. Which are the correct statement? You know about that. First statement is absolutely incorrect, so you can eliminate, and answer will be 2 and 3. B is the right answer. Let's see. The criteria for the inclusion in the ST list. The criteria presently followed for the specification of a community as scheduled tribes are: indication of number one, primitive traits, distinct culture, geographical isolation, shyness of contact with the community at large, and backwardness. However, these criteria are not spelled out in the Constitution. The process to include tribes in ST list begins with the recommendation from the respective state governments. These recommendations are then sent to the Tribal Affairs Ministry, which review and send them to the Register General of India for approval. This is followed by the approval of the National Commission for the Scheduled Tribes before the list is sent to the Cabinet for a final decision. Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister, approved the inclusion of tribes of 5 states in the Scheduled Tribes category. Next question. Consider the following statements about Board of Trade. BOT. The Board of Trade been reconstituted by the merging Council for Trade Development and Promotion with the Board of Trade in 2021. This board advises the government on policy measures connected with the foreign trade policy. It provides a platform to the state government and the UT for the articulating the state-oriented perspective on the trade policy. Which are the correct about Board of Trade? Which are the incorrect? Not correct. Which are the incorrect? I think only and only one, yes, because second and third statement is general statement. The Board of Trade, BOT, has been constituted by merging the Council for Trade and Development and Promotion with the Board of Trade in 2019, not 2021. Okay. Board advises the government on policy measures connected with the foreign trade policy in order to achieve the objective of boosting India's trade. It provides a platform to the state government and UT for articulating state-oriented perspective on trade policy to boost the manufacturing and export. Union Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Sri Piyush Goyal, chaired the first meeting of the newly reconstituted Board of Trade. Consider the following statement. Traffic separation scheme. A traffic separation scheme area in an area in the sea where navigation of ships is highly regulated. They are compiled with by all the vessel out at sea as the conformity to its mandatory as per rule number 10 of the Coleridge Convention 1972. What is the Coleridge Convention 1972? Which are incorrect. This is incorrect. D, neither one nor two. Let's see about traffic separation scheme. A routing measure aimed the separation of opposing streams of trafficking or traffic by appropriate means and by the establishment of traffic lenses. The TSS area is an area where the where sea navigation of ships is highly regulated. Each TSS is designed to create lanes in the water with ships in a specific lane all traveling in same direction. TSS are indicated on admirability admiralty chart in the purple, one that has been touched upon even by those starting out their career at sea. In all probability, these are imaginary lines and don't have the actual representation through the borders on location, but they are compiled with by all vessel out at sea as conformity to it mandatory as per rule number 10 of the Convention on the International Regulation for Preventing Collision at a Sea 1972. The Mediterranean Shipping Company MSC, world largest container carrier, has taken the lead by rerouting its ships to keep away from colliding the blue whales. Which among the following grant is or provided by the International Financial Service Center Authority FinTech Incentive Scheme 2022? Which of the following grant? Proof of concept grant, accelerator grant, sandbox grant, incubator grant. I think it's all that 1, 2, and 3, not 4. इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल सर्विस सेंटर अथॉरिटी फिनटेक इंसेंटिव स्कीम 2022. इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल सर्विस सेंटर अथॉरिटी इंटरनेशनल फाइनेंशियल सर्विस सेंटर अथॉरिटी IFSCA with an overall objective to promote the establishment of a world-class fintech hub, a gift international financial service center in India. It launched at the IFSCA Fintech Incentive Scheme for providing financial support to the fintech activities in the form of specific grants. Fintech Startup Grant. This grant shall be utilized for developing a product or service and related to go market initiative for the startup with a novel fintech idea or solution with a focus on converting the idea into an MVP, proof of concept POC. grants. These grants shall be utilized for the purpose of the conducting a POC by an early or mature fintech in the domestic market or overseas. Sandbox grant. This grant shall be utilized by the FEs to experiment with the innovative product or service in the sandbox. Green Fintech Grant. This grant shall be utilized to watch the developing solution facilitating sustainable finance and sustainability linked finance, including environmental, social, and governance investment. Accelerator Grant. This grant shall be utilized for supporting accelerators at the IFSC for capacity building, build capabilities around mentors, bringing investors, bringing more projects for or POC ties ups. Listing support grant. Grant shall be utilized for supporting domestic FE aspiring to go for listing on stock exchanges recognized by the authority. The International Financial Service Centers Authority IFSCA launched the IFSCA FinTech Incentive Scheme for providing financial support to fintech activities in the form of a specific grants. Lake Cook, where it is Lake Cook, recently seen in news, is located in Lake Cook. It's a Cameroon. Cameroon volcanic line. A sudden change in the color and smell of Lake Cook in the northwest Cameroon has caused a panic among the locals. Fears are driven by the incident that happened 36 years ago at the Lake Nyos. Both Lake Cook and Nyos are the crater lakes located in the region of the volcanic activity known as Cameroon Volcanic Line. The Cameroon Volcanic Line consists of a string of volcanoes that extend from the Atlantic Ocean to into the Republic of Cameroon. The volcanoes here across the oceanic or continental boundary. Incidents around 36 years ago, Lake Nyos emitted lethal gases, mainly carbon dioxide, that were released from the Earth's mantle. This carbon dioxide got as gas has been accumulating at the bottom of the lake of the for century. 2 years earlier, Lake Monam, about 100 kilometers of the southwest of the Lake Nyos, killed 37 people. There are 45 crater lakes in the Cameroon volcanic line that could contain lethal amounts of gases. A sudden change in the color or the smell of the lake Cook in the northwest Cameroon has caused a panic among the locals. Consider the following statement about Financial Stability and Development Council (FSDC). It is a FX statutory body constituted by the Government of India in 2000. The Union Finance Ministry is the chairperson of the council. Which are the correct about FSDC? Only and only B is the right answer. No, it is a apex level body constituted by the Government of India, not a statutory body. It has been established under the Financial Stability Division of Department of Economic Affairs under the Ministry of Finance. Chairperson, the Union Finance Minister of India. The chairperson may invite any person whose presence is deemed necessary for its meeting. Members जैसे कि RBI के गवर्नर, फाइनेंस सेक्रेटरी, सेक्रेटरी ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट इकोनॉमिक अफेयर्स, सेक्रेटरी ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल सर्विस DFS, Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Secretary, Ministry of Electronic and Information Technology, Chief Economic Advisor, Ministry of Finance, Chairman of regulators bodies like SEBI, Insurance Regulatory Body Authority IRDA, Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority PFRDA, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India IBBI, Secretary of Council, Additional Secretary DEA, Ministry of Finance. Recently, 26th meeting of Financial Stability and Development Council was chaired by Union Finance Minister. Answer the following statement about Green Fins Hub. It is the first ever global marine tourism industry platform for diving and snorkeling operator worldwide. It was developed by the Reef World Foundation in the partnership with the International Organization for the Sustainable Development. Operators will receive operators will receive environmental score based on a detailed online self-evaluation and progress made on their action plans, which are the correct about green fins hub. Incorrect. Which are the incorrect? Only and only two is incorrect. The Green Fins Hub is the first ever global marine tourism platform for diving and snorkeling, snorkeling operators worldwide. It was developed by the Reef World Foundation in the partnership with United Nations Environment Programme. Throughout every year of the membership, operator will receive environmental scores based on a detailed online self-evaluation and progress made on their action plans. Greenfin certificate members will continue to be assessed annually and trained in person at their operation. The assessment the assessment process will continue to be the best on set criteria using a scoring system 0 to 330 with a low score implying low impact of businesses on coral reefs. There will be a minimum threshold or maximum environmental impact for the scoring a green fins certificate member. A ranking of bronze, silver, or gold certificate members will be given according to their performance. UN Environmental Program (UNEP), along with the Reef World Foundation, launched the Green Fins Hub. Consider the following statement about Development Financial Institution (DFI). Developmental financial institution helps a financial institution access foreign funding, loans easily and in the higher quantum as compared to the public financial institution. Power Finance Corporation (PFC) and Rural Electrification Corporation (REC) were recently accorded DFI status. Unlike banks, DFI don't accept deposit from people, which are the correct about DFI, developmental financial institutions. Okay, 1 and 3 is the right answer because DFI status helps a financial institution access foreign funding, grants, and loan easily in the higher quantum as compared to the public financial institution. The Union Ministry of Power has sought the status of the development financial institution for the Power Finance Corporation (PFC) and the Rural Electrification Corporation subsidiaries of PFC. Unlike the bank, unlike the banks, DFI don't accept deposit from people. They sources funds from the market. Their sources is the market, the government, as well as the multilateral institution, and are often supported through the government guarantees. Power Ministry has sought the DFI status for PFC from the Reserve Bank of India under the National Bank for Financial Infrastructure and Development Act 2021, which are the correctly pair match. Miri Koravan tribe and Kadu Kuruba Hatti, Himachal Pradesh, Binjiha. It's a Himachal Pradesh. Only two pairs are correct. Let's see. Tribes in ST list. Union Cabinet approved the addition of four tribes to the list of scheduled tribes, including those from Himachal Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Chhattisgarh. Hatti tribe in the Transgri, yes, Siromur district in Himachal Pradesh. Hatti, Narikorawan, and Kurivikaran from Tamil Nadu, Vinjia in Chhattisgarh, who were listed in ST in Jharkhand and Odisha, but not in Chhattisgarh, where now communities newly added list. Cabinet approved a proposal to bring the Gond community residing 13 districts of UP under the ST list from the scheduled caste list. This includes the five subcategories of the Gond community: Dhuriya, Nayak, Ojha, Pathari, and Raj Gond. The cabinet approved Beta Beta Kuruba is a synonym for the Kadu Kuruba tribe in Karnataka. The government recently constituted an expert expert panel, expert, expert, nahi bhai, expert panel under the head of M. Damodaran for which of the following purpose? M. Damodaran panel is constituted by it's only and only D to suggest the ways for scaling of the venture capital, a private equity funds and investment. Damodaran Committee. The government has constituted an expert panel to suggest ways for scaling of venture capital or private equity investment. 6 member panel. चेयरमैन इसके दामोदरन है एम दामोदरन. Suggestion on taxation to facilitate ease of investing as well as encourage investment in India. The panel will also review issue compliances and suggestion simplification and changes for the further accelerating the growth of the alternative capital to participate in venture capital or private equity investment. The committee has also been asked to suggest the measures to further accelerate investment in startup and sunrise sector and suggest the forward-looking measures and future-ready regulatory practices in addition to studying and emulating global best practices. The government has constituted an expert committee to examine and suggest the appropriate measure to address regulatory and other issues to enabling scaling up investment by venture capital and private equity investment. Consider the following statement about International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture ITPGRFA. International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture. It works under the aegis of the International Fund for Agriculture Development. The objective of the treaty is to recognize the contribution of the farmers and diversity of crops to the diversity of the crops. India is not a signatory to the treaty, which are the incorrect. 1 and 3 is incorrect. It works under the aegis of Food and Agriculture Organization FAO of the United Nations. The objective is simple: farmers' contribution, to recognize the contribution of farmers to the diversity of crops, access the benefit sharing, establish a global system to provide farmers, plant breeders, and scientists with the access plant genetic material, sustainability, to conserve and sustainably use plant genetic resources for food and agriculture, and fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising out of their use in the harmony with the Convention on Biological Diversity. It is also as a seed treaty as it is a comprehensive international agreement for ensuring food security through the conservation, exchange, and sustainable use of the world's plant genetic resources for food and agriculture (PGRFA). India is a signatory to the treaty. India is going to the host ninth session of the governing body of the International Treaty on Plant Genetic Resources for Food and Agriculture this month. Answer the following statement about East Asia Summit. East Asia Summit is established in 2005. It is a forum of 18 regional leaders for a strategic dialogue and cooperation on key challenges facing the Indo-Pacific region. India is one of the founding members of the East Asia Summit. It is a ASEAN-centered forum, so it can only be chaired by ASEAN members. No, I think only 1, 2, and 3 is the right answer. Absolutely, both all are correct. East Asia Summit, established in 2005, it is a forum of 18 regional leaders for strategic dialogue and cooperation on key political, security, economic challenges facing the Indo-Pacific region. India is one of the founding members of the East Asia Summit. It comprises the 10 members of the state of ASEAN, Association of Southeast Asian Nations, which are Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, Vietnam, and along with the other 8 countries, namely Australia, China, Japan, India, New Zealand, Republic of Korea, Russia, and USA. It is an ASEAN-centered forum, so it can only be chaired by the ASEAN members. Ministry of Commerce and Industry attended East Asia Summit Economic Ministries meeting in Siem Reap city of Cambodia. Consider the following statement. Andaman and Nicobar Island is separated from each other by the 10-degree channel. Sompens is the one of the particularly vulnerable tribal groups (PBTGs) the Great Nicobar Island. Saddle Peak in the Little Nicobar is the highest peak. Which are the incorrect? Which are the incorrect? Only and only 3 is the incorrect. You know about that Andaman and Nicobar Island is located in the Indian Ocean in the southern reaches of the Bay of Bengal, nearer to the Indonesia and Thailand. This comprises of two island groups, the Andaman Island and the Nicobar Islands, which is separated the Andaman Sea to the east from the Indian Ocean. These two groups are separated by 10 degrees parallel. The Andamans lying to the north of this latitude and Nicobar to the south of this latitude. Particularly vulnerable tribals group who have been identified in Andaman and Nicobar Islands, they are Great Andamanese of State Island, Ongos of Little Andaman, Jarvas of South and Middle Andaman, Sentleys Island, Sompen of Great Nicobar Island. Saddle Peak in the North Andaman is the highest peak. Union Jal Shakti Ministry has declared Andaman and Nicobar Island as the India's first Swachh Sujal Pradesh. Which of the correctly paired match? Color and Revolution, Country, Jasmine Revolution, Orange Revolution, Tulip Revolution, and Rose Revolution. One side is in country. Which are the correct? Which pair is correct? Only and only one pair. Color revolution refers to the series of uprisings that first began in the former communist nations in Eastern Europe in early 2000, but also used in reference to the popular movements in the Middle East and Asia. The most have involved large-scale mobilization on the streets with demands for free election or regime change and calls for the removal of the authoritarian leaders. Orange Revolution. It refers a series of protests that occurred in the Ukraine between November 2004 and January 2005. Tulip Tulip Revolution is also the first Kyrgyzstan revolution. The movement led to the ouster of the Kyrgyzstan president. Jasmine Revolution, popular uprising occurred between December 2010 and January 2011 in Tunisia, was a response to underlying the corruption, unemployment, inflation, lack of political freedom in country. Jasmine Revolution. Rose Revolution. The Rose Revolution is in Georgia following disputed 2003 election. Amaraka civil resistance movement supported the Rose Revolution. Chinese President Xi Jinping appealed to Russia, India, and other members of Shanghai Cooperation Organization to cooperate with each other in the order to prevent foreign powers from destabilizing their countries by inciting color revolution. Samarkand is recently located in news. Where is it? Is Uzbekistan. Prime Minister participated second meeting 22nd 22 meeting of the Council of the Heads of the State of SCO. Samarkand Declaration of the Council of Heads of the State of SCO was released after the summit. Uzbekistan handed over the rotating presidency of SCO to India. India will host the next SCO summit, chairman of the organization in 2023. Recently, Prime Minister visited Samarkand, Uzbekistan to attend the 22 meetings of the Council of the Heads of the States of the SCO. Consider the following statement about the Asiatic caracal. The most significant potential habitat of caracals are Rajasthan, Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh. Its protection status is endangered category under the IUCN Red List. Which are the correct about caracal? Only and only one. They are found mostly in Rajasthan, Gujarat, MP, and are located in Kutch and the Malwa Plateau and Aravalli Hills range. Beside India, the caracal is found in several dozen countries of Africa, Middle East, Central and South Asia. प्रोटेक्शन स्टेटस इज लिस्ट कंसर्न. काराकाल का जो स्टेटस है लिस्ट है. वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट 1 में रखा गया है, साइट के अपेंडिक्स 1 में. काराकाल. The caracal is on the verge of extinction in India and it is essential to find suitable areas to conserve it. Consider the following statement about the United Nations and General Assembly. Each year in September, the full UN membership meets in General Assembly Hall in the New York for the annual General Assembly session. The President of the General Assembly is elected each year by the Assembly to serve a one-year term of office. The theme of the 77th United Nations General Assembly is a watershed movement, transformative solution to interlocking challenges. Which are the correct? I think 1, 2, and 3 all are correct. All 193 member states of the UN are represented in General Assembly, making it the only UN body with the universal representation. Each year in September, full UN membership meets in the General Assembly Hall in New York for the annual General Assembly session, a general debate which many heads of the state attends and address. The President of the General Assembly is elected each year by Assembly to the serve a one-year term of office. 77th UN United Nations General Assembly, a watershed movement, transformative solution to the interlocking challenges. External Affairs Minister arrived in New York to participate in the 77th session of United Nations General Assembly. Consider the following statement about the corporate social responsibility. CSR. India is the first country in the world to mandate CSR spending along with the framework to identify the potential CSR activities. The Act encourages companies to spend 5% of their average net profit in the previous 3 years on SCR activities. Contribution to the PM Cares Fund will qualify as a corporate social responsibility. Only and only 1 and 3 is the right answer. The term corporate social responsibility in general can be referred to as a corporate initiative to access and take responsibility assesses and takes responsibility for the company's effect on the environment and effect of the social welfare. In India, the concept of CSR is governed by the clause 135 of the Companies Act 2013. India is the first country in the world to mandate the CSR spending along with framework to identify potential CSR activities. The act requires companies to set up a CSR committee which shall recommend a corporate social responsibility policy to board of directors and also monitor the same for the time to time. The act encourages companies to spend 2% of their average net profit in the previous 3 years on the CSR activities. The contribution to the Chief Minister's Relief Fund The contribution to the Chief Minister Relief Fund or the State Relief Fund will not qualify as a corporate social responsibility expenditure, while any donation to the PM Care Funds will. Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur has said that Indian companies have spent more than 1 trillion rupee in corporate social responsibility till March 2022. Consider the following statement about Swachh Sagar, Surakshit Sagar campaign. Swachh Sagar, Surakshit Sagar. It is the longest running coastal cleanup campaign in the world with the highest number of the people participating in it. A mobile app Eco Mitram has been launched to spread the awarenesses about the campaign. Which are the correct about Swachh Sagar, Surakshit Sagar campaign? I think nothing. Yes, it is a 75 days citizen led campaign for improving ocean health through the collection action. The campaign has three strategic underlying goals that targets transformation and environmental conservation through behavior change. The three underlying goals of the campaign are: number one, consume responsibly, segregate waste at home, and dispose responsibly. Consume responsibly, segregate waste at home, and dispose responsibly. The coastal cleanup drive will be carried out at 75 beaches across the country with 75 volunteers for every kilometer of the coastline. It is the first of its kind and the longest running coastal cleanup campaign in the world with the highest number of the people participating in it. A mobile app Eco Mitram has been launched to spread the awarenesses about the campaign and also for the common people who voluntarily registration for beach cleaning activities. Inspire Award recently in Cine News, aligning with which of the following Inspired Award? Inspired Award. It's a Startup India. Inspire, that means innovation in science, pursuit for inspired research. Award, innovation in science, pursuit for inspired research. Award, it is a aligned with the Startup India initiative and being executed by the Department of Science and Technology with the National Innovation Foundation, India, and autonomous body of DST. Under this, the students are invited from all government or private school throughout the country, irrespective of their educational board, national or state. Financial support of 10,000 each would be provided so that they could develop prototypes of the ideas which they submitted for the scheme. As a next step, they competed at the respective district level exhibition and the project competition, and the state level exhibition and the project competition, and finally national level exhibition and project competition. Recently, ninth national level exhibition project competition for the Inspire Awards Manak Million Minds Augmenting National Inspiration and Knowledge has commenced. Consider the following statement. Under the Article 341 of the Constitution, Presidents may specify the castes, races, tribes which shall be deemed to be the scheduled castes. Only Dalits belonging to the Hinduism, Sikhism, and Buddhism are considered to be the member of SC. The rights of the person belonging to the scheduled tribe are independent of his or her religious faith. Which are the correct? No, which are the incorrect? I think it's a D. None is incorrect because you know that Article 341 of the Constitution, the President may specify the caste, the races, or the tribes, or the parts of the groups within caste, races, or tribes which shall be deemed to be scheduled caste. The President has the power to specify the castes, races, tribes, or the parts of the groups within caste, within races, or tribes which shall be deemed to be scheduled caste. The first order of the under these provisions was issued in 1950 and covered only Hindus. That time covered only and only Hindus. Following demands for the Sikh community that was issued in 1956, including Sikhs of Dalit origin among the beneficiary of ST quota. In 1990, the government acceded to a similar demand from Buddhists of the Dalit origin. The order was revised to the state no person or profess a religion of different no person or profess a religion different from Hindu, the Sikh, or the Buddhist religion shall be deemed to be a member of SC. Sorry. In other words, only Dalits belonging to Hindus, Sikhism, and Buddhism will be considered to be a member of scheduled caste. Does the religion does this religion based bar apply to the converted ST or OBC as well as? It does not. Does this religion based bar apply to converted ST and OBC as well as? It doesn't. The Department of Personnel and Training DOPT states the rights of the person belonging to the scheduled tribes are independent of his or her religious faith. Following the implementation of the Mondal Commission report, several Christian and the Muslim community have found place in the central and the state list of the OBC. Central is likely to soon decide on setting up a national commission to study the social, economic, and educational status of Dalit who converted to the religions other than Hinduism, Buddhism, and Sikhism. Which of the following are correctly matched? Doctrine of Supreme Court and meaning. Doctrine of eclipse. Any law which is inconsistent with the fundamental rights is not valid, not invalid. Doctrine of laches. The court will not help people who sleep over their rights and help only those who are aware of the vigilant about their rights. Doctrine of laches and doctrine of colorable legislation. When a legislature does not have the power to make laws on a particular subject directly, it cannot make laws indirectly. Which are the correct? Leave batch only and only 1 and 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. All are correct. Various doctrine of Supreme Court. Doctrine of Pith and Substance. If a substance of legislation fall within a legislature lawful power, the legislation does not the legislation the legislation does not become unconstitutional just because it impacts the issue beyond its area of authority. Doctrine of severability. Doctrine of severability. When some particular provision of the statute offends or against a constitutional limitation, but the provisions is severable, severable from the rest of the statute, only that offending provisions will be declared void by the court and not the entire statute. Doctrine of eclipse: any law which is inconsistent with the fundamental right is not invalid. It is not totally dead but overshadowed by the fundamental rights. The inconsistency or can be removed by the constitutional amendment. Doctrine of leches. A doctrine of leches emanates from the principle that the court will not help the people who slip over their rights and helps only those who are aware and vigilant about their rights. A party is said to be guilty of laches when they come to court to assert their rights after a considerable delay in that respect. Doctrine of territorial nexus. It means that the subject shall be located outside the territorial limits of the state and has a territorial connection with the states. Doctrine of colorful, a colorable legislation. It means when a legislature does not have the power to make laws on particular subject directly, it cannot make laws it laws on it indirectly. Doctrine of harmonious construction. When the two provisions of the legal text seem to conflict, they should be interpreted so that each has a separate effect and neither is redundant or nullified. Recently, a bench of the five judges of the Supreme Court has constituted so as to determine whether the Constitution Number 103 Amendment Act 2019 violates the doctrine of the basic structure of the Constitution. Consider the following statement about the UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities (GNLC). UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities. UNESCO Learning City status would ensure education for everyone in the chosen cities. Nilambur, Warangal and Thrissur are the UNESCO learning cities in India. Incorrect पूछा गया है. Which are the incorrect? Neither one nor two. UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities (GNLC). A learning city promotes lifelong learning for all. Lifelong learning lays the foundation for the sustainable social, economic, environmental development. The UNESCO Global Learning Council, or I forgot what is this, Global Network Learning Cities. UNESCO Global Network Learning Cities is an international network consisting of cities that successfully promote lifelong learning across their communities. The UNESCO Learning Cities status would ensure education for everyone in the chosen cities. Education for everyone in the chosen cities. Warangal, Nilambur, and Thrissur have joined the UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities. Warangal, Nilambur, and Thrissur have joined the UNESCO Global Network of Learning Cities. Consider the following statement about peatlands. Peatlands occur in every climatic zone and sequester more carbon than any other type of the terrestrial ecosystem. And sequester more carbon than any other type of the terrestrial ecosystem. Kuwaiti Central peatland, Kuwaiti Centrali peatlands in Congo Basin is the world's largest tropical peatland complex. Brazzaville Brazzaville Declaration. Implementation coordination between the different government sectors to protect the benefits provided by the peatlands ecosystem. Which are the correct? I think all are correct. Peatlands are the terrestrial wetland ecosystem in which the waterlogged condition prevent plant material from fully decomposing. Consequently, the production of organic matter exceeds its decomposition, which result in the net accumulation of peat. It in cool climates, peatlands vegetation is mostly made up Sapagunum, mosses, sages, and serves and are the primary builder of peat. In the warmer climate, germino, germinoids and woody vegetation provide most of the organic matter. Peatlands occur in every climatic zone and continent. The world's largest tropical peatlands, Kuwaiti, centrally region in the Congo Basin. Brazzaville Declaration. Brazzaville Declaration. It aims to implement coordination and cooperation between the different government sectors to protect the benefits provided by the peatland ecosystem. The agreement is the beginning of the deep collaboration between the Indonesia, covered by the vast expanses of peatlands, and the Congo Basin. Central African Forest Commission on Intergovernmental Organization came out with the report Congo Basin Forest State of Forest 2021. Next question about Boggyville region. Recently is news. Where it is Boggyville? Simple question is Assam project in Boggyville region. The two floating jetties at Boggyville in Dibrugarh district in Tinsukia district will be constructed as a state-of-art terminals using most advanced and updated technology. Both the jetties are being constructed by the IWAI over the National Waterways NW2, popularly known as River Brahmaputra. Boggyville River Front Passenger Jetty, which has been developed by the North East Frontier Railways as a part of the riverfront development near the Boggyville Bridge. The Boggyville Bridge is a combined road and rail bridge over the Brahmaputra River in the northeastern India state of Assam between Dhemaji district and Dibrugarh district. Union Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways Sarbanand Sonewala launched the multiple projects for the development of the Boggyville region near Dibrugarh in Assam. Consider the following statement about the LoRa technology. LoRa technology is a wireless modulation technique in the physical layer, allowing longer range communication using chirp spread spectrum. It uses the dedicated radios, which are not usually present in user devices, limiting interferences from other devices. Banks can use this as their one dedicated private network instead of using the third net party network which are presently based either on a satellite link or wire fiber, which are the incorrect about NORA. I think nothing is incorrect. It is a new technology developed by the Institute for the Development of Research in the Banking Technology IDRBT, an arm of the Reserve Bank of India. LoRa technology is a wireless modulation technique in the physical layer, allowing a long range communication using chirp spread spectrum. LoRa technology uses dedicated radios, which are not usually present in the user devices, limiting interferences from other devices. Banks can use this as their one dedicated private network instead of using a third party networks which are presently based either on satellite or link or wired. As it can be owned by the banks privately, there will be more security from the cyber attacks. Apart from being a more secure platform, LoRa network also allows easy recoverability and upgradation. The last mile connectivity of the banking system can be expanded with the LoRa financial network. India first IDRBT develops new low cost financial network. New low cost financial network to take banking to remote areas. Consider the following statement about Coffee Board. Coffee Board is a statutory body constituted under the Coffee Act 1942. It functions under the administrative control of Ministry of Commerce and Industry. The head office of the Coffee Board is situated in Bangalore. The board is headed by the Director General of Foreign Trade. Which are the correct? Which are the correct about Coffee Board? One, two, three, four. One, two, three. One, two, three. Government of India established the Coffee Board through the Constitution, through the Constitutional Act as a Coffee Act 7 1942. It is a it is the administrative control of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. The board comprises 33 members, including the chairman, who is the chief executive and appointed by the Government of India. Role of Coffee Board. Coffee Board serve as a friend, philosopher, and guide to the coffee sector, covering the entire value chain. The core activities is primarily directed towards the research, development, transfer of technology, enhancement of production, quality, improvement, export promotion, supporting development of domestic market. The head office of the coffee board is situated in Bangalore. On the sidelines of the annual conference of United Planters Association of Southern India, the coffee board is coming out with a sustainability code for Indian coffee. Consider the following statement about the prompt corrective action framework. The objective of the framework is to enable supervisory intervention by RBI at the appropriate time. The framework applies to all banks operating in India, including foreign banks. The breach of the any risk threshold enables the RBI to reconstruct or amalgamate a bank with the approval of the central government. Which are the incorrect? You know about that? Two, none is incorrect. PCA, that means Prompt Corrective Action Framework, enables supervisory intervention of RBI over banks at an appropriate time and ensure effective market discipline. The framework applies to all banks operating in India, including foreign banks operating through the branches or the subsidiaries based on the breach of risk threshold of identified indicators. However, the payment banks and small finance banks have been removed from this list of the lenders where prompt corrective action cannot be initiated. However, payment banks and small finance banks have been removed from this list of the lenders where prompt corrective action can be initiated. The breach of any risk threshold may be result in the innovation of the PCA. The breach of any risk threshold may result in the innovation of the PCA. RBI's powers in the governance related action. The RBI can supersede the board under the Section 36 ACA of the Banking Regulation Act 1949. The amendment of the Section 45 of the BR Act enables the Reserve Bank to reconstruct or amalgamate a bank with or without implementing a moratorium with the approval of the central government. The RBI, as a part of its mandatory and discretionary action, may also impose appropriate restriction on the capital expenditure other than for the technological upgradation within the board approved limits and under the revised PCA. After reviewing the performance of the Central Bank of India, the Reserve Bank of India removed it from its prompt corrective action PCAF. Consider the following statement. Based on the recommendation of the Sitakant Mohapatra 2003 committee, the Government of India has fixed set of criteria for inclusion of language in the 8th schedule. Bodo, Dogri, Khasi, Santali were added 92nd 92 and 92 बोलिए या फिर 92nd Amendment Act 2003 in the 8th schedule. Of course, one D is because both are incorrect. Earlier attempts through the PAWA 1996 and Sitakant Mohapatra 2003 committees to evolve such fixed criteria have been inconclusive. Government of India is conscious of the sentiments and the requirements for the inclusion of the other language in the 8th schedule. The 8th schedule of the Constitution constitutes the following 22 languages: Assami, Bengali, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Kashmiri, Konkani, Malayalam, Manipuri, Marathi, Nepali, Odia, Punjabi, Sanskrit, Sindhi, Tamil, Telugu, Urdu, Bodo, Santhali, Maithili, Dongri. Of these languages, 14 were initially included in the Constitution. Sindhi language was added by 21st Amendment Act 1967. Konkani, Manipuri, Nepali were included in 71 Amendment Act 1992, while Bodo, Dogri, Maithili and Santhali were added in 92nd Amendment Act 2003, which came into the force in 2004. People belonging to the Kurmi community blocked railway tracks in various parts of the eastern India, demanding their inclusion of the list of the scheduled tribes (ST) and inclusion of Kurmali language in the 8th schedule of the Constitution. Indian Discrimination Report. India Discrimination Report 2022 recently seen what was recently published by India Discrimination Report. It's Oxfam India. Recently, Oxfam India report stated that discrimination in the India causes 100% employment inequality faced by women in rural areas, in the labor market, and 99% in urban areas. Reports finding are based on the government's data on the employment and the labor from 2004 to 5 2019-20. It was recently published by the Oxfam India. Consider the following statement: India's first dugong conservation reserve has been notified in the Gulf of Mannar, Tamil Nadu. In India, dugong are only found in Gulf of Mannar region. Dugong are the largest herbivorous marine mammals which are primarily thrive on seagrass beds. Its protection is a vulnerable category, IUCN Red List. Which are the correct? It should be 1334, which is 34. Country's first dugong conservation has been notified in Tamil Nadu. The move was aimed at conserving endangered species as it would help protect and improve the marine fauna. The reserve has been notified in the Parkway. They are found in over 30 countries in India and are 30 countries and in India and are seen in the Gulf of Mannar, Gulf of Kutch, Parkway, and Andaman and Nicobar Island also. Dugong are the largest herbivorous marine mammals, which are primarily thrive on the seagrass beds. Conservation of these dugong would help protect and improve the seagrass beds, which are also breeding and feeding grounds for the many fishes and marine fauna. Conservation state of IUCN Red List is a Vulnerable Wildlife Protection Act 1972 is Schedule 1 and cites Appendix 1. Country's first dugong conservation reserve has been notified in Tamil Nadu. Consider the following statement about India Hypertension Control Initiative (IHCI). India's Hypertension Control Initiative. It is a large-scale intervention under the National Health Mission. India Hypertension is a collaborative intense initiative of the Health Ministry, Indian Council of Medical Research, and the state government of the World Health Organization. India won a United Nations award for its hypertension control initiative. Which are the incorrect? None is incorrect because India won a UN award for its hypertension control initiative. The initiative is a large scale intervention under the National Health Mission. Under this initiative, 3.4 million hypertensive people were identified and put on treatment at the various government health facilities. India Health Hypertension Collaborative Initiative is a multi-partner initiative of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Indian Council of Medical Research, WHO, Country's Office for the India, and Resolve to Save the Lives technical partner. The award comes at the time when the WHO, who estimated that one in every four adults in India suffer from hypertension. 25% of the people of India is suffering from hypertension, and only 12% of these adults have hypertension under control. So India wins UN award for hypertension control initiative.